hope is being able to see there is light despite all of the darkness. I have seen myself many times crashing to zero. To dream by night is to escape your life. To dream by day is to make it happen. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. There's only one thing in life that you should never, ever give up. My name is Farhan Masood, and I share hope.
Welcome to I Share Hope, the podcast where world leaders share their real stories of hope and how you can use actionable hope to start changing your life today. And now, here's your host, Chris Williams.
If you can see me.
Hey, there you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, are you living in Well, let me back up. I don't want to get into all that yet. I need to hit record before we start all that stuff because people want to hear the fun stuff. First of all, thanks for your time, and make sure I get your name right. Farhan Masood, is that the right way to say it?
Yep, Farhan Masood.
Farhan Masood, excellent.
Yeah.
And just to give you a heads up on how the interview rolls through, I'm assuming somebody on your staff probably gave you the interview 101 document. Do you have that, or have you seen that at least, the 5 questions that we ask?
I've just gone through it. Yeah.
Perfect. So I'll stick to that script pretty tight, just so you know where we're going. I don't want to make sure I don't surprise you. And you'll notice at the end of question number 5, I will kind of get out of interview mode for a second, and we'll capture a few quotes of your name saying, I'm Farhan Masood and I share hope. And then we'll jump back into a few last minute questions, just anything random I think of during the interview that we'd like to ask that's kind of human interest. People love knowing the little fun details about your life that aren't the normal run-of-the-mill. So, man, I really do appreciate your time. Really do. I know you're a busy guy.
Just keeping busy to, lead by example.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great way to say that. I appreciate it. I really do. You're leading me by example, that's for sure. Well, Farhan Masood is sharing hope with me today, and so many of you too. You're going to be impressed by this guy. He's done quite a bit in not much time. So here's where he's at. He's won over 39 international awards, I believe. Started a company called SoloInsight from Pakistan. Now brought that to Chicago, and he's back and forth between the countries and all over the world, doing many more things. In 2012, I think, Farhan, correct me if I'm wrong, but distinguished MIT entrepreneurs from all over the world joined MIT, and you won a competition of over 160 other inventors. So here's the way I'm understanding your invention, and make sure that I really understand it. Don't tell me the technical stuff because you'll lose me. But if I'm watching the movies that I love to watch, the action movies, and somebody goes up to get into a secure facility, they put their hand down, they get a hand scan, a retina scan, or a facial scan, and it gives them access to this top secret facility. You're the guy who really is behind the creation of those high-tech scanning and security features. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's like, and we're actually bringing it to the mainstream.
Wow. Okay, so I was in Las Vegas recently for a convention for an International Franchise Association, and I'm not a franchisee, just there to learn. And I'm not really a big casino guy, but I was walking around the casinos and there's cameras everywhere, and the security guys were telling me that they're actually running your type software in there, and they can see when a hustler is walking in the door. They already know him, know everything about him. They've got him, and that's the stuff, right?
Yeah, so there is, the screening systems that are available in the world, and we actually differentiate by making them in a 3D space than in a normal 2D space. So it's like, you can't really fool the camera.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, sir, you're in Chicago tonight. Thanks for your time. I want to respect your time. I appreciate it a lot. It is 8 p.m. right now when we're talking. So let me jump into the questions. You know how these work. We ask you the 5 questions about hope. Answer them however you like. And we're just thrilled that you'll be a representative for us on the I Share Hope research project, and as we get to share the interviews with lots of other people around the world. So question number 1, sir. How do you define hope, or what is your favorite hope quote?
It's like, my favorite hope quote is, Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. It's kind of faith. It's kind of the post and rails by the staircase that you might never use or may never touch, but it actually tells you that if you fall, they will pick you up. That's what I define hope.
So just to say that one more time, because it broke up just a little bit. If you fall, there's somebody there to pick you up, and knowing that there's. Did you say? What was the first thing you said there? It cut out just a little bit. I want to make sure we get that.
Yeah, so it's like hope is being able to see there is light despite all of the darkness.
There's light despite all the darkness. Oh, that's good. And somebody's there to pick you up if you fall down. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when you can really, you can actually take the high jump if you know that there is a parachute. Um, you don't even know, it's like if parachute or but you have hope. It's like so you can actually take the leaps, take the jumps of your life.
Man, that's great. Great points. Love it. Question 2. Who's given you the most hope? So if that's your definition of hope and that's how you're thinking through hope, and I think that's an awesome definition, who's been there kind of, I guess, having your back and making sure that they're there for you when you needed some hope?
Yep. It's like there are 7 personalities that have actually taken a quantum leap in my life. One of them is Abdul Razak. This is the one that actually taught me the first ABC when I was a toddler, and he took me to the 10th grade in school, and I figured out one funny thing or one inspiring thing from my parents later on in my life, that all the life that he actually would actually come on a bike to teach me and never been late, never missed a class, giving me a home tuition, making sure that I succeed in my life. But he never took a single penny. There was no tuition fee. It's like he's dedicated his life, 10 years of his life, to put me on a path. Another person I definitely refer to everyone. He's a motivational trainer as well in Pakistan, very well known, called Kasser Abbas. So my introduction was by his book. So there was a time in my life when I was like kind of suicidal, and somebody gifted me his book. It was in Urdu. It's called Shabash Tum Kar Sakte Ho. And I was like, read this book to me, and I should actually go out of the way and do all those things, that all those crazy things that have been written in this book, and I can accomplish. I think today it's like he's a close friend of mine now, and I definitely quote him everywhere. And he has given me a lot of hope, while he was present or even he was absent to his books. His name is Azhar Rizvi. So the first time I applied for visa to the United States, I was refused. It's like I was actually told, we don't want to do business with Pakistan. Now you can leave the embassy. And I was really disappointed. My American dream was shattered. I thought that I would never be able to accomplish that dream, the same dream that Steve Jobs had or Bill Gates had, or the country of immigrants, being equal to the nationals. And I've refused entry. So other is we went out of the way to actually enroll me into an MIT competition that I won. His idea was that, Farhan, you should never give up. You should always find a way that the embassy cannot refuse you the visa. The best way by winning this competition. You don't refuse you, and that's what happened. I actually jumped into this competition. I spent 4 months, days and nights, believing in, it's like, I can actually win that competition. But I did, and here I am pursuing my American dream today. And I met Jeff Hoffman. In Turkey. It's like, there's an interesting gentleman who's actually my first ever entrepreneurial mentor, and he actually showed me that, oh, so you're actually valuing your company, or you're worth very low. It's like, you don't you don't worth $100,000. You're worth more than $10 million. Like, you need to actually pursue your dream, come over to the United States and see for yourself. Don't sell yourself for cheap. And then there is Jeff Martin, who was working at the Department of State. And very interesting, he always went out of the way to help me with the visa processes. I won and another award in Turkey, where he was the organizer. He went out of the way for my visa arrangements, as well as he's been very helpful for me with my career in the United States. Um, After Jay, I was introduced to Jay Shekhawat. So Jay is he's an Indian living in the United States for more than 2 decades. And Jay has just recently sold his business to SAP for $1.1 billion. Like, he's an amazing guy. He's a very, very successful gentleman. And he, for the last 1.5 years, been giving me continuous guidance and help. He says, like, I can see me in you. It's like struggling, it's like, and I can really help you out of the way. And I figured out, I went to Jay and I said, Jay, I have actually raised the capital that I needed to pursue my dream, and that was not possible without your help. I think I owe 1% of my company to you as an advisor. And they said, you are offering me just 1%. I said, oh my God, he needs more. But he said something really wonderful. He said, you have to pay me back. Yes, you have to pay me back, but by being very, very, very successful. That's how you pay me back. So, so these are the beautiful people, and now it's like I'm working with the most inspiring personality who actually gives me hope every day. My business partner, his name is Carter Kennedy. He's the person who took me to Jay, and he's the person who actually he really runs the. I really love his ability to run through walls. And we are actually struggling together and building business together, and I'm having fun.
That's a great story. You had so many people really invest and pour so much into you, and not just capital, not money, but so much opportunity, which is so connected to hope. They've given you, and you saw where you wanted to go, and they've just simply opened the gate, opened that door, and given you a path to follow. And man, that's great. There's so many ways that I can turn that into something useful in my life when I'm maybe not starting a company like you are, or getting capital investments like you are, but working with a kid I get to mentor, or my own kids, or somebody in the neighborhood where I can see what's their passion, what's their dream, and how do I just kind of open the door and clear the path for them. So great examples. What a bunch of heroes. Wow.
They are definitely, and what I've learned, Chris, is you knock people's doors. So there might be, I'm not naming the hundreds of people who didn't help me, but I still found these 7 people who helped me out, right? So, you keep knocking the door, and you keep asking. And if you're not asking, they don't. So if you ask them, there might be a yes.
You'd have to be one of the examples there for me, Farhan Masood. You've opened the door and said yes to letting me talk to you and learn hope from you. And, we invite a broad range of people from all over the globe, and I'm amazed at the people who say yes, and you're one of them. And I really, really appreciate you taking what's given to you and passing it on to me. Thank you. It's a privilege. Okay. I'm going to take a quick pause here for a second. And we'll cut this audio out. Do you have a set of like earbud headphones? You're getting a little bit of feedback, I think, in the room. Do you have anything laying around that would be like that, just to cut the noise out between you and the speaker? Yeah.
Let me just check here.
Just something to get it off the loudspeaker would help.
I think this will work.
Let's see.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, that's great. Clip that and see if we can get away from your chin a little bit. Yeah. Now talk a little bit. Let's see if that sounds any better. So, are you in your home in Chicago? How do you travel back and forth? Do you have a home in both places? How does that work?
Yeah, I'm yeah, so it's like, I have now three homes. So I have a home in Lahore, and I have a home in Chicago, and I have a home in Shenzhen in China. So
Oh
it's like,
my goodness.
so I've been traveling. They be careful of what you wish for. And all my life I've been going to palmists and numerologists to figure out that if there is a line of travel in my hands. And
That's hilarious.
now there is a not corner of the world.
All right. So let me jump into question 3 here. Let me just, I'm going to mark down where we're putting so the audio editing guys can know that was around mark 15. Okay, I gotcha. All right. So question number 3. Tell me a time, you already answered, who's been hopeful to you, and 7 people there in a row. That's incredible. So how has hope worked in your life? So you've obviously had some really hard barriers to push against in your professional career, and I'm assuming in your private life as well. But how do you tell me a story? Kind of take us back to those times when you've been like, oh my goodness, it's all falling apart, and you've actually pulled through.
Yeah, so it's like one time I remember it's like I called all of my developers and I said, look, I think I ran out of my money and I can't pursue my dream now. And what we should do is actually we should, I have enough money to pay you this month, but we are closing down. And yeah, that's the worst nightmare. It's like, you started your and you say, oh, you're closing down. And I came out and I asked my manager if if there is any money in the company. And he said, "Sir, we have, we had $10." And it's like that's the equivalent money in Pakistan. It's like we had $10, but it's like we actually saved that for the generator fuel. And I said, okay, you should keep it. It's like no worries. So I sat in my car and I looked into when I started the car. It's like there two kind of fuels, two kind of gas that use in parks and city. That both lights are yellow and red. That means there is no hope. So
Yeah.
I was actually driving this car. I said, I said, I don't know if I don't care where it stops. Wherever it stops, I'm gonna start walking and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep. And but I was very hungry, and I actually looked into my pocket and I had only $1. So the only dollar left with me, that I spent on buying a shawarma. So I bought a shawarma,
Wow. So,
and
my
it's
goodness.
amazing. Yeah, so it's like food is still cheaper. It's like it's definitely street food, and I instead of putting in the fuel of $1 in my car, I actually put fuel in my stomach, so I can go on. So I had a little struggle of with switching car from fuel and no fuel and pressing my feet on pedal and take them off to be able to make it by home. But the car stopped, and I actually had to push it for almost 2 kilometers
Incredible. Okay,
to
so just to go,
home. And I
you're
parked, and I actually went in the car. So I had,
so you're starting a company. You're running out of money as a company. You've got the car. You're heading home. It's late. You've simply literally run out of gas, and you have
I
a
ran out
dollar.
of gas.
You got $1 in your pocket. You grab something to eat. That's all you can do. You push your car 2 miles or 2 kilometers home, and what do you say when you get home? What are you thinking?
And then I was going to sleep. I was just thinking, oh, is it me who actually pays these 16 people who work for me, or is it some superpower that actually serves them? So why I'm so worried? I should actually go to sleep, and God must have thought something about these people. And and I thought I slept. This morning, I woke up with a phone call, And it says like, why don't you pick up my phone? And I've been calling you for the last 6 days. I said, I don't know. It's an unknown number. I don't pick unknown numbers. Maybe it's the bank chasing for the credit card money that I owe them. So they said, it's like, we have seen your system somewhere, and we really love it, and we want to buy it. So extra, you can say 50 cents from my mother to actually pay for the cab to reach the place which was nearby. So I reached there with 50 cents in my pocket, and I meet this guy, and he says, "Oh, Farhan, this is you. I'm so amazed. This is you." And there's somebody that I know for 5, 6 years, and he's like, he writes me a check of $2,000. No, sorry, $20,000. So I had $20,000 check right in my phone, which was one way. It can't make calls anymore. I was so excited to tell my team that we are not closing down, and I had to wait for 1 hour to actually get it open.
That's incredible.
That's one interesting. Yeah. So this is how God works. It's like, when you work hard, you really leave everything on the hook, and something definitely happens. I've seen myself many times crashing to zero. Every time it's like, there is at least 3 times in my life that I've made a lot of money, and then I've lost it all. But there is something there for me which I haven't planned myself, and that exists, and that comes in my life, and that's what faith is about.
That's awesome. I'm taking notes like crazy here, man. That's really awesome. It really is. And a great statement of, God really coming through. And people have so many different beliefs about God around the world, but, so many times you bump into something that just, you kind of have to fall back and say, there's a God out there, and he's really looking out for you. And I think that's a great, great story of hope. Excellent. All right. Question 4. How are you sharing hope with people around you today? What do you do on a daily basis to just give hope to people?
Yeah, so it's like, the way I've been mentored in my life, I'm mentoring others. One thing that when I moved from Dubai to Pakistan, and I left my job and my career with that was a royal job that I had in Dubai. It's like making a lot of money. And I decided to move back to Pakistan to actually pursue my dream of building my own technology. It's like I would see that there was no Pakistani technologist. It's like in the field who's recognized globally, and there was no such brand coming out of Pakistan which can go global. And I wanted to turn that story around. Every time I speak to my countrymen, we figure out that this can't be done. Can't be happening. There's too much conspiracy. Jews everywhere. I wanted to tell them there is no conspiracy going on. There is no Jewish conspiracy. There is no Indian conspiracy going on. The only conspiracy going on is in your head, and it's your laziness. I wanted to change. I wanted to lead by example. I wanted to tell them this could be done, and that is when I came back to Pakistan. It's like our politicians haven't done a good job. They've actually left the country in a worse situation. 200 million extremely talented people. It's like you won't find such talent anywhere, and they're lacking opportunity. They don't have any opportunity. They don't have hope. They are told that you're not be successful. Your job is to get up in the morning and you should not, business is not for you. You should not be an entrepreneur. And that's what I wanted to change. I started going to different universities, I started speaking an opportunity where I could promote entrepreneurship and lead by example. And there are a lot of examples now. It's like I'm very excited to see that there are hundreds of people that I've mentored, and they're in.
Wow, man, that's really great. So you're giving so much opportunity to the people there in Pakistan that would have never had that door open if you hadn't opened it for them. I mean, that's great. And it's the same thing that the guys did for you, the 7 you mentioned earlier. You know, hope is one of those renewable resources, and the more we use it, ironically, the more there is. And you're really doing that. You're showing how that works.
Chris, I will share one more story about somebody in China that I helped. It's like a multimillionaire in China now.
Hey, real quick,
came to me while I was still. I really want to be.
Let's cut the video. I'm going to cut the video on my side. Cut the video on your side. I just want to make sure this audio is as good as we can get it. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's mine or your feed, but let's just cut the video out and we'll just go with straight audio.
You want me to cut my video too?
Yeah, I cut your video. Well, let's try it out. Yeah, there you go. Let's try that out and see what happens. Just see, because the audio is most important here.
I think it'll be better now.
Yeah. So yeah, tell me about this guy in China. You know. So
this guy in China almost 10 years ago came to me and he said, I'm working with this company as a general manager and I want to start my own business around the same products that this company is creating. What do you think I should do? And I told him that you should definitely pursue your dream and start it. And he says, "What if I fail? And this I won't get this job again in my life." And I offered him that if you ever fail, you can actually come back to me and join me. I will hire you in my company wherever I am. So you don't worry, just go try. And this guy is like, I didn't even know what job I could offer him. I just gave him hope.
You're really hoping it worked too, right?
It worked so well. It's like he's driving a Porsche in China. It's like, it's like,
That's great. That's awesome. What a great story. It really is. It's amazing when you just give somebody a nudge and tell them they can go do it. It's amazing how much capacity people actually have. They just need to have somebody give them permission to use it.
It's like there is another story of hope in a book I was reading. It's like the people who are actually superstitious, they actually go to different priests and and they will ask them to actually write them something that they can actually put in a necklace. So it's like that would actually make them successful. There's something that we call it a tawiz in our language. I was reading this that somebody gave his friend who was not getting a job a tawiz, and he just asked him to promise to not open it and don't see what's written in it. And he became very, very successful ever since he had that tawiz with him in his necklace. And after 20 years, when he was very, very successful, he said, "Let me see what's written inside."
Yeah.
And he opens it, it's a blank page. Ever. It's just, this is hope. This is the hope which actually makes you thrive in your life. It's like it gives you courage.
It's inside of him already. He just needed to find it.
It's just inside. Chris, if I ask you, there is this little pavement on the road, and if I ask you that you have to actually cross this whole pavement without falling down, you would easily do it. If I ask you to do the same thing on the 30th floor on the top of the building, you will not do it, even though there is nothing changed here. It's the same size of the pavement that I am asking you to actually walk on. And the fear is inside you. The courage is, the courage can be cured by hope.
Yeah. Great stuff, man. I've got so many quotes I'm writing down. This is fantastic. You should write a book. So, number 5, last question of the hope questions. What can we do? Just the simple first, second, third steps, kind of the ABCs of hope. How do I start sharing hope and growing in hope just as a person? What do I do next?
Yeah, I'm saying, we should do whatever it takes. The first thing I always say, even in my Facebook statuses, I've dedicated my Facebook statuses to actually give people hope. And I always write one thing, that's one should never give up. So it's like, you're only defeated when you give up. The failure is giving up. And if you stay in the game and you continue thriving this and trying again and again and again, you will always achieve it. And it's like, do as much as you can for yourself and for others. It's like, and if you keep mentoring others, that will open up your brain for different ideas for your own self, and it will keep you on track. There was this little story of a man walking by the shore, and he saw a kid, who was trying to save a lot of starfish on the shore. So he said, it's like, there are thousands of these starfish. You will not make any difference. And the kid picks another one and throws it in the sea, smiling, and say, I did difference to this one.
Yeah.
So it's like, as many hearts you can touch, as many people you can actually give benefit to or be beneficial to. I think once you have hope, it's like you should stop procrastinating. You should start working.
That's great. Once you have hope, stop procrastinating and start working. Oh, love it. Love it.
Hope should not turn into daydreaming, right? That, oh, I'm very hopeful that I've become very rich. So
Yeah, that's
you got to do something about it. You have to execute.
yeah, I kind of keep thinking in my mind, the more I hear from people like you just great leaders of hope from around the world, that hope without action is heartache. That's what keeps rolling through my head as I hear these stories. Hope without action is heartache, because
It's
it's
interesting.
daydreaming.
Yeah, a lot of kids come to me that I have a startup idea, but I'm very scared to share with people. I said, look, nobody's good. Anyone can steal an idea, but nobody can steal your passion.
Hmm.
And that passion, that execution, that passion, and that hope that you have in yourself is the differentiator. Is that's what makes Dropbox a great company, that makes Google a great company, or Facebook a great company. These were all simple ideas.
Yeah, it's really true. Man. So you mentioned your Facebook account a minute ago. So I got a bunch of people behind me who would probably, just like me, want to follow along with what you're doing. So how can we track you down? Facebook, Twitter, where are you camping out at?
I tweet at Farhan Masood, without any space between my name.
All right, so that's the @ and then your name, which is FARHAN
Yeah.
MASOOD.
Yes.
Great.
And same is with Facebook, is facebook.com/Farhan.Masood.
Great, just a dot between the names. Perfect. And then your website where we can go check out your real company.
It's SoloInsight.com. SoloInsight.
Nice.
.com. Yeah.
So for those who are listening to Farhan along with me, you need to go check out his website and just check out some of the stuff online about this guy. This technology is really, really cool. It'll make all these Bourne Identity movies and all that stuff come to life, and you realize, oh my goodness, they can really do that. So, Farhan, stepping away from the interview for a second, this is a time where we can jump in and get a few little quotes for you. We'd like to introduce each of the episodes with, we're going to pull a part of your quotes out and kind of start the episode with that, and then it'll say your name and I share hope, or your name, your title, or what you've done in life, or what you hope for, and I share hope. So I would say something like, I'm Chris Williams, the host of I Share Hope, and I share hope, or I'm Chris Williams, and I'm hoping to share hope with my 5 children at home, and I share hope, or whatever you want to say. So I'll be quiet. You just rattle off 1 or 2 or 3, whatever you want, and we'll pick the good one.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, you can say your name and whatever you'd want to quote, or just your name and I share hope.
My name is Farhan Masood, and I share hope. To dream by night is to escape your life. To dream by day is to make it happen. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. There's only one thing in life that you should never, ever give up. Thank you.
Man, that's good. That really is good. I like that. Did you write that down? Is that your quote?
I did, yeah. So I keep writing different stuff. So
Wow. I'm serious. I'm serious. You really are. I talked to a lot of people on this subject, and some really awesome people like yourself, but few of them are as well spoken and have the ability to put their thoughts and stories out like that. You should, if you haven't already, you should write a book, or maybe you should write your second book. All right, man. I've got a few questions just because I love to think of random things that I probably shouldn't ask during the middle of the interview. But all right, so you're in Chicago and in Pakistan and in China. How often do you swap locations?
So, you can actually say that I am here 2 months in China, and 15 days in Pakistan and 15 days in Shenzhen.
Wow. So that's how it rotates through.
That rotates through. It's like if nothing else comes in. For example, my next trip is planned to Philippines, Australia, and Singapore.
No kidding. Cool. All right. So
Yeah, we are going places. We actually created a product called CloudGate. It's actually named after the Chicago's CloudGate. It's a security gate, which actually talks to clouds. It's like, it will make your Facebook profile or LinkedIn profile turn into a visitor ID that you can actually use to enter different buildings. It's like making it very convenient for people to walk through. And it's like we just signed a a partnership deal with Jiu-Jitsu. It's like we have added palm vein technology as well.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's really fascinating. We're excited to actually release it by next month.
Huh.
And there is a lot of headway we are getting in for this product here.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so you're a security guy, particularly a cyber security guy. I mean, you probably keep stuff pretty tight. So give me just the tips for the right and wrong kind of password, and where do I keep it? So I have the password on my phone, my computer, my Facebook account, Twitter account. We have all these things, and we're always scared of somebody getting our info. How do we stay safe? Just simple rule of thumb.
It's like, the simple rule of thumb is to make sure that when you're typing in your password into anything, do you recognize that URL on top of it? It's like most of the passwords are stolen not by hacking, but by phishing. And it's phishing by phishing. It's a terminology where somebody creates a similar looking page that he fools you into by clicking in it. So it's like what happens is like, I don't know, it's like ever since I've shifted on Mac for the last 3 years, I haven't seen a virus or heard about it. but but in Windows, you're struggling. It's like you're struggling because there are a lot of viruses that actually come in, and they end up taking over your browser. So you should be very careful what you click on, what you download, and when you see if you are creating a password, please do not make sure that it's your name or it's your own. Some people even have a funny password. It's called password.
I've heard that before. In fact, I heard a securities attorney, an attorney who litigates security breaches, talk recently, and he said password is the most common password. All right, so if you're listening, change it if it's password. All right, so you're traveling all over the world. You've been so many places. Where do you want to go? If you can just say, I'm going to take a week off and just go see this place because I've got to see it. It sounds amazing. Where's it going to be?
The number one place is Istanbul. It's magical. It's magical. It's beautiful. It's magical. Even if I have nothing to do in world, I want to actually stop by Istanbul. They have amazing food, beautiful people smiling all the time. It's like the second best place I want to go is California.
No kidding. Istanbul and California. That's a great combination on the list. I love it. All right, man. Well, you've been just a privilege to talk to. I've got so many notes, and we're going to put all these notes and a full transcript of this conversation at isharehope.com, along with the links to be able to find the audio from this episode. So you're already listening to the episode. You can share this off your device now, or you can jump over to isharehope.com and get a lot more info, have some pictures of Farhan there as well, and some more info about his companies, links to social media, and anything else you can want to find out about this guy. We'll try to cram it all in there. Farhan Masood, it's a privilege in so many ways to talk and learn and take notes and have a lot to think about as I roll through the rest of my evening. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure talking to you too. Be safe and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've just listened to iShare Hope. If you're ready to make a change, head to our website at isharehope.com and claim your free copy of the Top 10 Actions of Hope from World Leaders to use hope in your own life. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.